I'd like to call this meeting to order, please. May we have roll call, please, Mr. Crotty?
Mr. Accomando?
Present.
Ms. Borelli?
Present.
Ms. Ainello?
Present.
Mr. Laurentino? Ms. Mahoney?
Here.
Mr. Quinn?
Here.
Mrs. Robinson?
Here.
Ms. Roloff?
Here.
Ms. Ottarelli?
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provision of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. At this time, please be advised that all cell phones and electronic devices are to be turned off. Are you reading the students' report?
Do we have the students here? We have girls? Do you have the copy of the report, or do you want to use mine?
Okay, we'll now go out of the student representative report. Please make sure you state your name.
Where's Rulo? You know me.
It's like each school, and then something underneath it. And it goes, unfortunately, printed like this. Washington, and then the flags. Like this. Good?
I should send this to you, Kelly, so they can follow up. Did you get this about the Unsung Heroes now, right? I sent it to Danielle and Steve. I'll send it to you anyway, so they can follow up.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not going to remember. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Skylar McGuire, and I'm a freshman at Saddlebrook High School.
Hi, I'm Gianna Gargurevich. I'm a freshman at Saddlebrook High School.
In the middle school, they hosted a kickball tournament on Friday, January 31st, and 50-plus students were in attendance. 10 middle school students successfully auditioned and were accepted into the North Jersey Junior Region 1 chorus.
High school, the senior banquet is March 19th, STEMCon March 12th. The annual Science National Honor Society blood drive will be on February 27th. On February 25th, students in the Mind Makers Club will work with Alicia DiLorenzo to learn about techniques that they can use to manage stress and anxiety. We are hosting a college fair on March 4th. As of now, we have 43 college attending. Scheduling for high school students has started and the students are very excited.
In Franklin School, the winter concert was a highlight for the month of January. Franklin School's 4th and 5th and 6th grade students were in the chorus, and band members entertained their audiences at both the daytime performance for the students and the nighttime performance for the parents. A highlight was Mrs. Cohn playing the triangle in a performance that had many people remarking on not only her musical talent but her acting abilities too. The Student Council's Super Bowl fundraiser was a great success. It was Team Kelly versus Team Ashley, with a victory for Team Kelly, 611 cans versus 504 cans. In the end, the greatest victory was for the Saddlebrook Center for Food Action, who received a grand total of 1,115 cans of soup. Students in grades K to 6 enjoyed participating in the Kids Heart Challenge. Collectively, they raised over $2,500 for the American Heart Association.
Long School, LMS was proud to present its annual winter concert on January 21st. It is always such a great opportunity for our school community to come together to celebrate our students' growth in music. Special thanks to Ms. Grottos for her efforts with our students. World Read Aloud Day was a hit at LMS. We all shared in the read aloud of one common book with Just Ask. The students participated in a collaborative art in response to their reading, which is now displayed near the LMS Art Gallery. K-2 students will be preparing for the 100th day of school, which occurs next week. The teachers have selected a Roaring '20s theme for this year's activities, which will culminate in STEM challenges in the gym.
Helen I. Smith School, our winter concert was a huge success at the end of January. Our advanced band, chorus, and select ensemble known as the Saber Tones wowed the audience. During the month of January, the Smith School students held a coat drive titled Share the Warmth. The students asked for all sizes, baby to adult. At their monthly meeting, the students sorted and counted the donations. They were excited to announce that 93 coats were collected and donated to the Mercy House in Newark, New Jersey. Last week's World Read Aloud Day was a special day at the Smith School. Every room read the book Just Ask by Sonia Sotomayor. Each class came together to listen to the book and celebrate their differences. Students worked on filling out a leaf, vegetable, or fruit with what makes them unique. Our Smith garden is filled with unique and special and vibrant students.
Washington. Teachers are finishing the creative curriculum unit on clothing by having parents who wear uniforms come in and speak to the classes about their jobs and their uniforms. During the month of February, we have a police officer, 2 lab techs, a nurse, a referee, 2 dentists, and a chef coming to share with the classes. The clothing unit will end with a fashion show. Miss Erica and Miss Lakea completed an integrated Cozy Heart lesson with each of the classes that focused on motor coordination and language development. Miss Lakea emphasized questioning and answering skills. They discussed Valentine's Day and how to show someone that you care. The final product was a yarn heart that the students took home to give a family member. We are looking forward to the scheduled events for Read Across America in March.
Athletics. Congratulations to freshman wrestler Andrew Ivanovsky for placing 3rd in the freshman county tournament. Good luck to all wrestlers as they begin their quest to the state finals in Atlantic City, beginning with the district tournament, which starts next week. Congratulations and a shout out goes to our boys basketball team on picking up their first win of the season last week. Regardless of the record, these guys played hard, hustle, and are fun to watch. Come out to support our boys on senior night, Thursday, February 20th versus Weehawken. Good luck to our indoor track and field athletes as they prepare for their championship meets. Congratulations to our competition cheer team. They have come in first place in every competition they have entered in so far this year. They have 5 first-place finishes and 2 Grand Champion awards. Keep it up, girls. Congratulations to assistant coach Helene Vargas and her family on giving birth to baby girl Ella. Good luck to our girls basketball team. They are currently first place in their division with a 16-3 record. Their 17th win will give Coach Hronicic his 600th career basketball coaching victory. Congratulations to Coach H and good luck to our girls the rest of this season. Come out for their girls' senior day game on Tuesday, February 18th for St. Mary's. Please come out to support all our SBHS athletic teams and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Saddlebrook AD. Thank you.
Thank you very much, girls.
Thank you very much. Excellent job. We will now go to the superintendent's report.
Good evening, everybody. It's nice to have a nice big crowd here. I just wanted to share with you what happened this morning, if you don't already know what happened this morning, but I'll give you the heads up anyway. So we got a call very early, I think it was about, 5:15? 5:15, that there was a water main break, and as a result of the water main break, the high school, middle school did not have water. And that break would take approximately 6 hours to repair. So our high school cafeteria employees start very early preparing lunch for the entire district, not just for the school here. So you can't really, you can't run school with no water, and you certainly can't run school with no lunch. So that's why we had to make the call to close school. And then the project was done earlier than anticipated, which is why then we resumed afternoon sports activities and things like that. So unfortunately, we had to use one of our emergency closing days, but we still have 2 left. We don't want to use those. Okay, so I just want to fill you in on that. Okay, so we have a few things that I'd like to share with you. Let me go over here, because the girls have my paper. Okay. Our district literacy consultant, Shelley Klein, has been working with our K-6 teachers to support the Balanced Literacy Initiative. This year, she has been conducting workshops with our teachers focusing on words their way, and also taking a deep dive into writer's notebooks. So that has been an ongoing professional development, and it's just something that will continue, because each year, as we learn more about the program, we focus on different things within our PD. We have a lot of really cool things going on in the next month and a half, beginning with our community wellness event, which will take place on Tuesday, February 25th, and it will start here in the auditorium. So from 6 to 7 o'clock on that evening, we will have a keynote speaker, Alicia DiLorenzo, and the public will have an opportunity to meet the woman we have met quite a few times for professional all I had was tea. For professional development on social and emotional learning and how that impacts our work with our students and in the classroom. And she's going to do a presentation for the parents, so they can get to know her and get a little glimpse into some of what we learned from her. At the end of that presentation, the choir will be singing a very special song from Dear Evan Hansen. If you haven't seen Dear Evan Hansen, it's a fantastic show. I asked them if they would sing this song, so they will. We'll have a little introduction, one song from the cast of Beauty and the Beast, and then we will move on to the 2 gymnasiums from 7 to 9. We have, if you can look on the website, it's on one of our front pages in the rotating pictures. There is a list of all of the vendors who will be here. They are all health, wellness vendors, and there are things like the Optical Academy registration. So if you want to have vision screening for you or your child, you can. We'll be raffling off some great prizes, like donated autograph posters from Eli Manning, which I'm certain has to be worth more than when he sent it to us, now that he's going to be retiring, and Sam Darnold from the Jets. So we're going to have a bunch of prizes, a really great night, 2 gymnasiums filled with health and wellness, and the entire community is welcome to come. We're actually trying to incentivize the event by hosting a pajama day the next day for school, so any of the students who come and get their peace pins can wear pajamas for pajama day the next day, and the teachers can have a dress down day the day after. So I'm hoping it's going to be a great event and our first of many wellness fairs. It is Tuesday, February 25th. Okay, so now the next night, February 26th, we are going to be hosting a special Board of Education meeting in the Library and Media Center. It will be a single item agenda. Mayor White and Police Chief Kugler are going to present to the Board of Education their proposal to provide Class 3 officers in all of our schools. Currently, we have an SRO officer and a hall monitor in the high school, and our SROs do travel to the schools, but they're going to propose, the town council has agreed to fund this proposal, and they're going to be presenting their idea to the board on Wednesday, February 26th. That's the night after the wellness event. If you would like to come, if you have some questions or concerns, or if you just want to hear the proposal, it will be in the media center. Okay. I will. Oh, them. Sir, yes. Share the good word. We'll be putting it out there as well. We will send something out to all the parents in the backpack this week to make sure that they know. And we'll be doing something else too. I hope it'll be live soon. With Facebook, what we did was I started a Saddlebrook School District Facebook page, because it seems to be the way that information gets spread very quickly. I thought this morning, I wish I had a Facebook page I could have posted that information on, but we go the old-fashioned way and send it out via school messenger. So we started a Facebook page. It's called Saddlebrook School District. It is, although it is officially launched, Facebook hasn't released a launch yet. I guess they want to make sure that you're a real person and that you're not doing anything, I don't know, obscene on the page. So as soon as that is alive and well and kicking, and it's actually there for you to see, we'll be shooting it out to everybody so that you can follow it, and we're going to use that as much as we can to share information with the community. Okay, Nicole Kalinowski is a student at the high school. I believe she's a junior, and she is engaging on a Girls Scout Gold Award project. So what she is doing is, I just want to pull this up here. Okay, it is called Mission Backpack. She would like to provide 500 filled drawstring bags for students in the Saddlebrook and Patterson school districts for the 2020 school year. The drive will be held next week, and a collection bin will be provided in each school. Items on the wish list are drawstring bags, pencils, pens, crayons, erasers, rulers, glue sticks, one-subject notebooks, and pocket folders. She would like each student in need to have a backpack to go for the school year in September. And so we love when our students take on this kind of challenge and initiative and service. So that will be going out in our backpack this week as well. I'd like to thank our student representatives, who I think scooted out. I'll have to find them tomorrow. And I'd like to thank the VFW for their presentation, and I guess that is up next. Oh, one other thing. Before we came in here tonight, between 6 and 7, the board convened. They're working on one of their board goals, and this year they're focusing. We tried to do a shared book together. Last year it was The Case for Servant Leadership. This year it's Carol Dweck's Mindset, and the board is examining the difference between fixed mindset, growth mindset, how it affects what we do individually as a board, and how it helps the community. So we worked on that from 6 to 7 this evening, and they're trucking away at one of their board goals. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now go to the Business Administrator's report.
I have no report this evening.
Thank you, that was nice and quick.
I can't top
Paydays
that.
tomorrow. Happy Valentine's.
Do you want to announce the presentation? Okay, now we'll have the VFW presentation on the Voice of Democracy essay competition, and this will be presented by Lou Vireo, commander of the VFW Post 3484. And now, and that will be followed by a full-day preschool program presentation by Lauren Reisenhauer, our Director of Special Services.
This guy right here. Miss Higgins. Miss Higgins. Amy. Is that Mr. Wesh? Is that Mr. Wesh? With the red shirt? How come he looks so damn familiar? What's going on? Oh, we gotta get up. Thank you. I'll get that.
Good evening, everybody.
Stop yelling.
I brought some members from Post 3484 with me tonight. I just wanted to do something like this here and bring the membership out and just try and let you know a little bit about what we try to do. Tonight we have the Voice of Democracy Awards, and basically I'll just read it right off here. The Voice of Democracy program, since 1947, the program has been the Veterans of Foreign Wars premier scholarship program. Each year, nearly 40,000 high school students compete for more than $2 million in scholarships and incentives. Students compete by writing and recording an audio essay on an annual patriotic theme. This year's theme is What Makes America Great? Now, I have 3 winners. We had more than, I think, 7 or 8 entries this year. So I have the 3 winners here. I have certificates here and a little bit of prize money for them. I want to bring the children, I can't call them children no more either. I want to bring the kids up. Let's see. Our number 3 winner is a young lady, Isabella Jaramillo. There we go. Allison Beckus. And Donald Higgins. Okay. All right. First thing, I just want to read off the certificate. It's for Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States of America and its auxiliary, the Voice of Democracy Certificate of Merit, presented to Isabella Jaramillo in recognition of excellence in the Voice of Democracy audio essay competition. You have been designated an outstanding spokesman for freedom. Signed by myself, Lou Verrilli, our adjutant, Walter Gear. All right, so we just, basically, they all say the same thing, except the names are different. All right, so Isabella Jaramillo, 3rd place. You're welcome. Congratulations. Allison Beckus. Thank you. And our grand prize winner, Donald Higgins. Okay. The essays were forwarded to the districts. The district is going to make their decisions. And there's, like they said, there's over $30,000 worth of scholarships out there. So hopefully we can pick something else up. That's it. Congratulations. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Smile big.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Maybe you can help the guy out next time when he's down. He's juggling papers, the microphone, and everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Start again. Thank you very much. And congratulations to our students for an excellent job.
Taking the microphone too.
And thanks.
You stay on that microphone.
Would you like a microphone?
Want to add something, or Joe, you want to add something?
Use it.
Auxiliary wants to hear.
You want to speak?
Wanted to add that.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, actually, that the VFW Auxiliary will be launching a school-wide art contest for both elementary students and high school students this month, so keep your eyes open for that.
Thank you very much. And now we'll have Dr. Lauren Reisenhau's presentation.
No.
Kelly. Jesus Christ.
So Dr. Lauren Reisenhower and Rivka Zakaria are going to present to you about preschool. So Dr. Reisenhower is our Director of Special Services, and she's also the principal of Washington School. And Rivka is here filling a very important leave for us on our child study team, and they're going to present to you.
Thank you. Good evening, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to present our information. I'm going to see if this will stay. The students did such a nice job with it, so see what we can do as well. So, just an overview of what our Washington school looks like. Currently we have, just an overview of what our preschool currently looks like at Washington School. We currently have 4 classrooms. One that is preschool disabled 3-year-olds and preschool disabled 4-year-olds. 3-year-olds come in the morning, 4-year-olds come in the afternoon. And then we have a gen ed section that students pay tuition. And then we have a program that is for our students who have been diagnosed with preschool disabled autism. That is a full-day program. So we currently have 2 full-day programs. Our program for the preschool disabled with autism, and then our gen ed population that pays tuition. What I am going to propose going forward is that we'd like to change that a little bit, and since our population is growing so much. Currently, we have our tuition-based program that has grown significantly, as you'll see in these numbers. Last year, when I first started, we had 17 students that were coming for a half-day program. This year, we have 26 preschool students who are coming and paying tuition. So that was a big jump for us, even though they were just a half day. Full day, we have 11. We had 11 last year and 9 this year. Again, the numbers are growing. We already have parents calling for next year, which is really, really awesome. Our teachers do an exceptional job and have a really great reputation in the community. So I think by word of mouth, we are becoming a program that is growing with fidelity. We would like to have our programs grow to provide more education for some of our students. So currently, just to review, we have a full-day 3-year-old program for tuition, a half-day 3-year-old program that students also pay tuition, and you'll see the numbers are growing again. And we have a full-day program, and this is the funds that are currently bringing in. Again, the tuition students do add to our program because as they come in, our students with disabilities integrate with them, and they are able to see what typical learning peers looks like, and they are able to interact with them, and it really is an exceptional program, and it provides all of our children the opportunity to be educated together.
Some of the reasons that we feel strongly that a full-day program would benefit the community as well as the families and students and it's all research-based, the reason that we have here, it's been proven that students who attend a full-day program, the benefits are not just immediate, but they're actually long-standing and are generalized. Students who attend a full-day program are better able to start kindergarten from much more adapted. They're able to sustain along a full-day program better. They have pre-academic skills. They have social skills that enable them to attend to a full-day program much better, as well as kids who attend a full-day preschool program also avoid concerns such as absenteeism. They are able to learn at a much more rigorous pace, which is all things that then also serve them as they become students through their educational and academic career.
So this is what I'd like to propose for next school year. Our 3-year-old program will continue to be a half day. There'll be an AM session and a PM session for 3-year-old students. That would be our students with disabilities. And then our second program, which this would be new for us this year, would be a self-contained 4-year-old program. So our 4-year-old children who currently go half day would now have a full day of programming. And remember, a lot of these students get OT, occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, behavioral behavioral therapy. So a lot of the academic needs may not be met because they're receiving so many other services. So the 4-year-olds, we're feeling that they are able to tolerate the full day and be able to eat lunch in the school building and be able to participate in the program for a full day setting. We'd like, again, our ABA program, which is for our classified students who have been identified as having autism or on this, what they call on the spectrum. And so what I would like to add is our integrated program, which would be a dual certified teacher, which would be students who could be in the part tuition and part classified students who are working together to build on social skills. And then, if anybody knows our program, Miss Laura, who is our gen ed classroom teacher who currently does the tutoring, the tuition program, would be our other fourth classroom. She's exceptional and done a really great job, and we'd like to continue to build her classroom. So with the projections that we have, our building at Washington would be full, which is awesome because it is a great building. We have a lot to offer our students.
The curriculum would be based on the creative curriculum that many districts within the state of New Jersey do use as well. The great thing about the creative curriculum is that it is, first of all, research-based. Second of all, it brings in many different aspects of learning, both social, academic, as well as brings in opportunities for the children to use the environment that they're in as part of their learning experience. It also brings in the opportunity to teach them letters, to teach them concepts such as more, less than, relationships, gross motor skills, problem-solving abilities. It really is a very comprehensive program that's been used throughout for many years now and has proven to be very successful to teach children how to be good learners and ready and academically ready for kindergarten.
So again, we're proposing that we're going to add another classroom, which would require us to hire another teacher. But currently, with the tuition that we're receiving, that would cover the cost of another teacher and 2 additional paras. So we're hoping that we'll continue to publicize our program and hope that we'll get more students. Again, we have students on our waiting list for September, which is really awesome, and we're hoping to build our program. And again, our program has got such a great foundation. We have exceptional teachers there, and it really has proven itself to be a worthy program. Any questions? Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you both very much. While Mr. Soroki is fixing our microphone, thank you, sir. I just wanted to remind everybody about the upcoming middle and high school spring musical. I made reference to it before, but I did not say the dates. So this year's spring musical is Beauty and the Beast, and it will be running March 5th, which is a Thursday, March 6th, March 7th, and March 8th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I believe tickets will be available and open to the public, I believe, Friday, and we will send out a message with a link so that you can pick your seats and come to the show.
Price this year too, which wasn't.
Oh, and there is a student ticket price this year that there was not last year. Good. Thank you, Mrs. Zottarelli.
Thank you very much. Can I have a motion to open the meeting for public comment for agenda items only? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda and the policy.
Policies are on this.
Okay, you're good.
Before I read my long paragraph, is there anyone from the public that would like to make a comment at this time? For agenda items only? Just so everyone is aware, there is another public comment section at the end of the meeting for non-agenda items. Okay, seeing none, may I have a motion to close for public comment?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll now go to board action items. B3 through B67. At the recommendation of...
63.
63? At the recommendation of the superintendent, I would like a motion to approve these items.
Second.
Are there any questions, comments?
Yeah, through the chair on B64 for the district calendar.
Yeah.
I know when we negotiated contracts, we negotiated the high school conferences to be done, and they were supposed to have a full day. Now we're giving them, we did this year, we're going to continue to do that and give them, the students, a half a day as well as, why don't we just go back to conferences? If we're going to, we negotiated that purposely.
Right. So what we figured out when once we actually went to do it was that we would have people, members of the public in the building while the students were in the building, and that's why we moved to the half day for the high school students as well. So we could renegotiate the next time, or you could talk about a sidebar maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments on that section? Roll call, please, Mr. Quaddy.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ainello?
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff? Ms. Zottarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. We'll now go to education and curriculum. Ms. Borelli?
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items: B72, B73.
Second?
Are there any questions, comments on this section? Seeing none, roll call, please, Mr. Quaddy.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ainello?
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Zottarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Now we'll go to finance, budget, and facilities. Ms. Roloff?
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items: F237 through F242.
Second?
Is there any question or comment?
Through the chair, is F242 paid or just appointed position?
Appointing.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please, Mr. Quaddy.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ainello?
Yes, all, but I'm going to abstain from in item number 237, ID numbers 1, 5, and 9. And in item number 4, 2,
F238, check numbers 131 and 453.
Okay. Mr. Laurentino?
Yes to all, but I'm going to abstain from F238, checks number 232 and 552.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff? Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Now go to
Just one second before you get to on the policies on B, bylaw B0110.
Yeah.
Based on Monday's comment that Mr. Accomando brought to our attention, we're going to be changing and we get a chance to change it with today being closed today. We're going to go back to it saying free public education in grades kindergarten through 12. And after the 12, we're going to state and a tuition-based preschool program in the Saddlebrook School District. So saying grades kindergarten through 12 and a tuition-based preschool program. And that's for first reading.
Wait, is that point 2 or point 1? Because point 1, if it was abolished.
No,
this is
just
B's.
110, 110. The identification.
Okay.
Ray, just a quick question. What about special education preschool?
So special education preschool is mandated by law. So law always supersedes policy. You don't have to have a policy indicating what's permissible by law.
Okay.
So students who qualify through their IEPs get free preschool.
Thank you.
You go to policy. Marion?
Well, sorry, just for the public's information, the board one of their goals is to review all their bylaws, so we'll be doing a section of them every board meeting. Tonight's the first section of first reading, and then, March we'll have another section and so forth to get through June.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. So policy P9541, P2415, and then the bylaws B.1 through B143.
Second?
Do you have any questions or comments on any of these policies at this time? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes to B0110 and no to the rest.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Iannello?
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes to B0110, no to first.
Negotiations.
Yeah, let's do that next. Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
So the next...
Just the negotiations, correct?
Yeah, before the next item, we couldn't get that agreement signed off by this evening, so that's going to be removed from the agenda.
So then we'll go to personnel. Ms. Zattarelli?
And before you get that, one item of personnel. Sorry for all the changes, but we're removing P471.
At the recommendation, I make a motion to accept the following. I'm sorry, at the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following. P428 to P472 with the exception of what we just removed, P471.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion or questions concerning any of those items?
I have a question. So you could just explain through the chair, P465, the retroactive 10-year start date of September 1. Why do we do that again?
Okay. Beth Simon has been in as a medical leave replacement. So when somebody is in as a leave replacement, they're paid on step one regardless of their experience. So she's an experienced teacher. The teacher who is on medical leave is abandoning the position. And so therefore, now moving forward, now that it's no longer a leave replacement, she's being placed on the appropriate step for her experience, beginning March 1st. And the law for tenure allows us to begin her official start date with us retro back to September 1, because the position has been abandoned.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Chair, why is she starting with tenure? Is she a current teacher here already?
No, that's just your tenure start date. It's 4 years and a day. So it starts September 1 of 2019.
Any other questions or comments on this section? Seeing none, roll call please, Ms. Crotty.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ainello?
Yes, all, but I'm going to abstain from P467.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff? Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Are there any committee reports this evening? I don't believe there are, and I don't believe there's any more liaison reports for the evening either, correct? Any correspondence? Old business?
I have a liaison report.
Oh, thank you.
Just kind of bypassed me. Okay. This is from the middle school, high school PTO. Just a reminder that the membership deadline is March 1st, and the PTO scholarship eligibility guidelines for graduating seniors are available in the guidance office. Just to let the board know as well, is the PTO donated a case of water and snacks, as well as their time, at the middle school kickball tournament on January 31st. And the PTO would like to thank the middle school administration, student council, and the teachers for all of their efforts. They said that it was a great time and it was very well run. Then I just want to remind everyone that the next PTO meeting is March 9th in the auditorium here, after the board meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Through the chair, I think it's old business. We had a question on Monday from Mr. Maniscalco in reference to, not a question, but a statement about his daughter with special needs not being able to walk in graduation. Did we ever find out why that happened or how that happened?
Well, it's my understanding, I thought it was last year, and I was not aware of it, but I guess it might have been 2 years ago. I can't answer why that happened because the people who were in charge at that time are no longer here. We certainly don't ever want that happening. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Regardless of where the children go to school out of district, they're still Saddlebrook children, and they still have a right to walk and participate in events. And obviously, I wasn't here, I was not aware of that. And I know that already Dr. Reisenauer is communicating with parents about graduation because she's been copying me on the emails, so I know that it's on her radar.
Okay, thank you.
Any other old business? Okay, just quickly, are there any board members that are going to be able to make the March 11th training session we discussed on Monday?
It's a board meeting. I'm going to one tomorrow night at Beckman Regional.
Or the one tomorrow night? Do I have the wrong date for that? March one?
We have a board meeting that day.
Do I have the wrong
We
date?
have a board meeting that day,
Okay.
March 11th.
It's a board meeting.
Okay, I thought it was a different day. Can anybody make tomorrow's?
No.
He just said
I'm not going to. I will contact Matt Lee. Are you planning on going, Sylvia?
Well, I can't go tomorrow night, but we have a meeting March 11th, so.
Okay. I will contact Matt Lee tonight and make sure there's still space.
Chair, if you find out if there is open space, if I can go, I will go tomorrow night, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay, I will check, see if there's anybody else that can make tomorrow? Didn't think so. Okay, any new business? Okay, can I have a motion to open meeting to the public for comments?
Motion.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. As soon as I read this long paragraph, we're open for public speaking. Please feel free to make your way down now. Residents are requested to state their names, addresses, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of the meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5 minutes duration. Issues raised by a member of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will be liable for any comments made by the members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments.
Good evening, board. My name is Michael Manis, and I live at 20 Dana Way. First, I'd like to ask everyone that's here in support of Mr. Weinberg to please stand up. Good evening, board. I'm here on behalf of Saddlebrook students and myself. First, I'd like to start off by saying a few quotes from Saddlebrook School Alumni Class of 2019. I love that man. I knew him since I was a baby and always looked up to him. He was one of the few teachers who truly believed in me and made me work hard. I felt so proud when he gave me an award. My whole family went to it. He's a friend and he changed people. Another one. I don't even go to Saddlebrook High School anymore, but my heart still breaks for Mr. Weinberg. He's such an amazing person and has an amazing heart. To turn his classroom into something else is just heavy-hearted. He has so many goals, projects, and situations you'd have to reach and solve in that classroom that'll help you learn and get ready for the real life. Why change the one thing that actually gets students ready for the real world? Mr. Weinberg was like a second dad to me. I knew he would always be able to help because that's just the kind of guy he is. Kids deserve the honor to have him as a teacher. This man has done nothing but greatness for this town and for me and all these students. An email to my father reads, "First and foremost, the repurposing of this classroom is not a secret, yet it is. Isn't the reason for school about the students? The students of Saddlebrook don't know and they yearn for Mr. Weinberg's return, only to find out his classroom will be gone. The job of the board, according to the Saddlebrook School website, is to modify and improve the educational delivery system for the children of Saddlebrook. The delivery system of his program is phenomenal. I speak for the students today that aren't here because they have jobs and some that are just afraid to come out tonight. Students are asking what they could do to change this. As said at the last meeting, we were already behind in budget. Why spend more money on something that's not needed? I've had students message me about planning petitions and planning a walkout. I would like to ask the board, how many students would you need on this petition to stop this madness? That room is more than just a room. That room is a sanctuary for some, and others just a place to learn. Administration worries about students having headphones in their hall, but has anyone thought to wonder, maybe it's just to block the real world around them? To have a class that a lot of students learn from their middle school career to the high school, that's what's important. Teacher-student relationships are what needed, and this is a prime example of that. So I ask again, what more does it take to stop this?
Thank you.
Gotta hold it? Oh, that's horrible. I'm Italian, I can't do this. James Maniscalco, 20 Dana Way. All right, so I was here the other day, and as everybody knows, it's on social media. And a couple questions I have is, we talk about the agenda. Why ain't this on the agenda? If it was a decision was supposedly made, why is it not on any agenda? Why didn't anybody get a chance to hash this out? All right, we're asking a teacher to pack up and move to a room that's smaller. It's not going to handle any of his equipment, can't handle the students, nor the power requirements of the room. So you're moving him into a closet, basically. And you're not saying you're destroying the program, but y'all, okay? I've been doing enough construction in my life to know to go from a large room to the small room, what that does. There's other ways around it. Nobody's thinking. You guys, everybody needs to sit down and make a rash decision and not say, move out by March, when the school year, I believe, ends in June. And we're asking somebody to move out 1,000 square feet of equipment into a 100 square foot room. So it's rather interesting. So as far as the agenda, why is it not on the agenda? I don't know. Where we're getting the money for this, I'd like to know. Really like to know that, since it's going to be my tax dollars. And, you know, everybody talks STEM. It's more than STEM. Everybody's got to stop saying it's just STEM, and we're not destroying the STEM, because you are destroying the program. Okay, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, and my understanding is nobody's been in that room to see what he does, it's not just STEM. It's more than STEM. They do a lot in that classroom. There's a lot of equipment in that classroom. And you're taking away something that, again, like I said the last time, we want doctors, lawyers, and teachers. It's great. But we forget about the mechanics, we forget about the technicians we need, we forget about carpenters that we're going to need. So this program does all of that. It helps, it goes through engineering, it goes through life skills, it goes through art. There's art in the program. There's an amazing amount of stuff this man does, and I'm looking at it as a parent of a student that's been in that class. I think it's more that there's more personality conflicts than there is that we need it for something else, that we're repurposing the room. I think that's a poor excuse, and I think it needs to be looked at better, and I think it's a very bad decision, but unfortunately, it seems like the decisions have been made, you know, I guess, you know, I don't know. It's frustrating, but on that note, second thing is my daughter. We just discussed, somebody said, well, since Monday, no one's contacted me except for a few board members, just to ask some questions, but not one person has called us, has called me. So clearly, nobody really is on the administrative side really, I guess, care about what's going on. Nor did we get an email about, that you guys said, I guess somebody said there's an email going out about contacting somebody from special needs, was contacting all the special needs families. Haven't seen an email about that, unless I misunderstood that.
That wasn't, I'm sorry, that wasn't what I said. I said that Dr. Reisenauer has already been contacting the families of the students who are in out-of-district placement regarding graduation.
So I guess she didn't make it to me yet. I guess I'm M, so I guess she
Is your
didn't get up
daughter
to the M's.
graduating this year?
No.
Okay, so then...
we'll be graduating, okay.
So the graduating class. And I'm sorry, Mr. Maniscalco, I didn't know that you left us with a question that you needed me to answer. What you brought up happened 2 years ago. Nobody has an answer for why that happened, because none of the administrators who are currently here were here when your daughter graduated 8th grade. So I don't know, what is it...
Board members haven't changed much.
What is it that you wanted me to address regarding that?
I don't feel, as a parent, that this school district is special needs friendly. That's why my daughter's not here. I don't feel it's, the only special needs I get out of this school is, I have a coach that has been, for the last 8 years, has been backing me up for my special needs program when we started in 2012. It's the only person that gives us full support of special needs that I see in this town. That's the way I feel.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
So, unfortunately, it's sad. That's why my daughter's going to another school. She was supposed to come to this high school, and we decided on not, because I don't think this school is capable of handling it. And that's just my opinion.
One of the things that we are working on is developing programs to meet the needs of all of our students. We have a real space issue currently. That's why even prior to my coming here, the board was talking about building a middle school. I know that that wasn't a popular proposal at the time, but the truth of the matter is that if we wanted to build programs for students with special needs so that we could meet their needs in-house, we don't have the space to do it. So we do have a program here this year in the high school that we didn't have the year prior in an attempt to meet the needs of students with certain disabilities. I hope that in the future, we could have every Saddlebrook child be educated in district. That's obviously the goal. So it is something that Dr. Reisenauer and I are working on, and it's something I've discussed with the board. It really is, we want them to be with their neighbors and with their, with their peers.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
So regarding the room that you're talking about, it's empty. The room does not have equipment. The equipment has been distributed to other classrooms within the school that are teaching STEM. There are multiple classrooms in this high school that are teaching STEM, either science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or the arts. And that room outside of and this has nothing to do with the teacher, outside of the teacher's personal effects, the room is empty.
Okay, I don't agree with that, but I'm not here enough. And I don't see how you could take all that equipment and spread it out when you have one teacher and that.
No, we have multiple teachers who can teach.
It's not STEM, and that's what nobody's getting.
Well,
it's synergistics. It's if you watch the guy's video, if you watch the guy's YouTube video, if you've been in his classroom, which nobody has.
That is not true, sir.
It is.
No, it's not.
Okay, so.
It's absolutely not true because the law requires us to be in the classroom. So if you're going to say things, please make sure that they're true, or I have to correct you. The law requires that we be in that classroom. So yes.
Okay. My next question is, my final question is, where do I get the information? Maybe I'm not too website savvy, but where do I find out what the merit pay means for everybody, whoever gets merit pay? Where's the breakdown of that? Did I miss that anywhere?
Probably. So there are only two administrators in the district who are eligible for merit pay, the superintendent and the business administrator.
Where is that? So I can view that.
It was probably either on an August or September agenda, maybe.
Okay.
And the breakdown of exactly what the activities are, how much the merit is, and that they've all been approved by the county superintendent.
Okay. All right. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else here that would like to speak? Seeing none, may I have a motion to close public comment? Any opposed? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Through the chair, can I just address a couple of Mr. Maniscalco's concerns? Nothing crazy. I just want to say, I heard somebody yell from back there that it's the same board.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but can you please make sure the mic is on and closer to you? Make closer to you then? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Let's get real. I mean, okay, someone from back there said it's the same board. Most of us are. But I just want you to know, until Mr. Maniscalco stood up here and told us, not one person was aware of this situation. So I'm not sure with your daughter. I did, and I will say, I spoke to your wife today. I didn't make any promises moving forward. It's a communication problem, and we're going to work on it to make sure it doesn't happen to any other student. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Through the chair, can I just say something real quick? I know last year and the year before in the seniors, there were seniors from out of district who were graduated with the class, because I know, I was there. I don't know about 8th grade. That was the only thing I wasn't clear on, but high school definitely has always been that way as far long as I've been around.
But if we don't know about it, we can't do anything.
No, but we know that they do it. 8th grade, I was not aware. That's the only one I don't know, but high school, definitely out-of-district students who go to special needs schools or any other schools are always welcome to participate in graduation.
Thank you. Anyone else from the board?
Yeah, there was this, not to beat a dead horse, but you said there you're trying to make room for the special needs kids. Yeah, but if you're trying to make room for special needs kids, then why take that room away? Use it for something else. And why can't we use Washington School upstairs for offices?
Washington upstairs is already being used for
What is that for?
offices. Child study team. We have child study teams in all of the buildings. So when they have IEP meetings and parents come in, or they do testing, or they do counseling, they need places in all of the buildings to do that because they do it with the children in that building. So Washington School, there is a child study team there. Miss Rivka, who was here before, she works out of that office. So we need spaces for our students. When we say offices for child study team, and we sort of fluff it like it's, administrative offices, it's not. The child study team works with children all day. They work with kids. So it is a place for kids. Right now, you have 4 child study team members sharing a physical classroom. There is no privacy. There's no room for testing. There's no place for IEP meetings. In this building, if any of you have ever tried to schedule an IEP meeting or a 504 meeting, you never know where it's going to be. You never know what the room availability is. It's never big enough, and there's never any privacy. We have counseling. Students who require, and I put this all in my email to the Board of Education, and I put it to Mr. Maniscalco. We have students who are receiving counseling here in the high school, mandated IEP-driven counseling in the hallway. That is unacceptable. It's a violation of FERPA. We have to have private spaces for this work to take place. So that is why we need space for them. So we'll be building 4 counselors' offices and a SAC counselor's office in that space where children can go. So a lot of IEPs for children, especially those who have anxiety or even 504s, they're told that should they have trouble during the day or need support during the day to go see their counselor. Now they go see their counselor's in a room with 3 other people. There's nowhere for them to go for these private conversations.
How about in the elementary schools? Like each principal has their own little conference area. They can't go in there?
Well, yeah, but then where's the principal? I mean, you have an IEP meeting, and very often, especially at the elementary schools, because you don't have extra rooms, they wind up going in the principal's office. But we're not talking about the elementary school. We're talking about space here. You have a middle school and the high school here. And you do not have space to counsel these students. You have one office in the main office. Let's say, for example, you have a child who is coming in for a re-entry meeting because they were suspended. And so you have the child and the parent waiting in that office, and then you have a 504 meeting, and then you have an IEP meeting, and then you have a child in crisis. Where are we going? These are the most confidential, sensitive situations, and we have no place to service these children. So it's not about building administrative offices. It is about building offices for counselors who serve children. And we have classrooms where we can teach STEM. Lots of them functioning now. Anybody who is interested in seeing where we teach STEM in this school, Mrs. Coffey has graciously offered, she said, anytime, call her, make an appointment, she will take you on a tour. You will see robotics. You will see everything that they are doing in all of these classes. Technology and STEM doesn't take place in a room. Before I was a superintendent, I was a curriculum director. I've been doing curriculum for 14 years now. You have state standards. From the state standards, you develop curriculum. From the curriculum, you have to create courses. Those courses align to the standards, and then you have to have a certified teacher who's certified to teach those standards for that curriculum that meets the state requirements. Okay, it's very complex. Technology used to be a class. It used to be a class. You went to computers. There was a room. One of the first things I did when I took a tour with Mr. Karate and we came here, I walked through the buildings with him and I said to him, Mr. Karate, why do we have computer labs in the building? He said, because the kids take computers. And I said, nobody has computer labs anymore, unless you're talking about a Mac lab or a CAD lab or some very specific hardware and software that is needed for a specific program. Now, I am sitting here with a laptop. You're sitting there with a Chromebook. We don't need a lab to do our work. So we've been disassembling the labs, putting the material, the technology on carts, and pushing it into rooms for the children to access. We disassembled a computer lab in Long School and turned it into a music room because the music children were doing music in the cafeteria. That was not an agenda item. It didn't have to be. When you repurpose a classroom for one purpose to another, it doesn't have to be an agenda item. It's based on need. So I didn't hear anybody complaining when we disassembled the computer lab in Long School and made it a music room. Rather, they were all celebrating the fact that those kids now had a music room. So you follow the need. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to follow the need. STEM doesn't take place in a room with one teacher and one course. It takes place in multiple rooms with multiple teachers, and that technology has to be integrated into every single course we have on the books. That is the CUSAC requirement. Did you have a question?
I absolutely believe you that, Kathleen Shanahan, 43 Brook Street. I absolutely believe you in what you're saying, and that STEM takes place in multiple places. So I guess, and I'm not sure about these kids here, I guess this is just a miscommunication.
Absolutely.
And maybe you can help the students, because the conversation at my dinner table today, they're kicking Mr. Weinstein.
No.
That's the impression that they have. And maybe you can just clarify it?
Well, I can't.
For them, I mean, you know, this is not a representation of all of Saddlebrook. So I guess, you know, a lot of things happen that way. So
the clarification is that this synergistics course, that the video, that it's, I think it's 10 years old is what I've been told. I'm not sure. I don't think there's a date on it. That synergistics program has not existed for some time. As a matter of fact, when I came here, Mr. Weinberg told me about the synergistics program he used to teach, and that he doesn't teach anymore because now he teaches global leadership.
And I think just also that the kids are just very, you know, validly concerned about their teacher.
And so are we. And I'm very excited to know, you know, Mr. Weinberg and I both had some serious health issues this year. I'm very excited to know that he's well enough to come back. And so he will come back and he will go to the classroom that he started in September. I believe he might be in 2 different spaces because I think, I'm not sure exactly. I don't create his schedule.
Yeah,
but
and
what
I
I'm
don't
saying
know
is that
either,
the courses, the supplies, the resources have been, if they're not in his room, they're one of 3 or 4 other classrooms.
I guess I also just take it that he has a lot of personal items.
He may.
Also. So I guess that they're also concerned with that.
Nobody is touching anybody's personal items. We waited until he was coming back. We offered assistance, both custodial assistance, packing, buggy lugging, or whatever needs to happen.
Sounds good.
And the reason why it needs to happen now, okay, and Mr. Karate can explain better than I can exactly where the money is coming from, but it's a capital reserve account, which means it's not part of the budget. It was put into reserves with the previous budget, and the money needs to be spent. It costs us less money if we do the project now before the summer, because in the summer, all of the school contractors' prices are very different because everybody wants their work done in the summer. And because this room has an outside door to the parking lot and it doesn't have to affect anybody, it can be taken care of during the school year. So that's why we're doing it now as opposed to in the summer. And we're going to help, you know, the teacher move his personal effects.
Thank you for the clarity.
Yes. It's not an attack on an individual teacher. Maybe someone else might have.
No, we did.
With the mic, please. Just for the sake of the video. You gotta hold it.
I gotta say hi. Name? I gotta say my name and stuff. Matthew D'Ambrosio. Address?
And your address?
90 Rochelle Parkway.
Thank you.
I'd like to bring a few things to the attention of the board. Involving the situation with Mr. Weinberg, I do. I mean, personally, I don't agree with it. I haven't had a lot of time with Mr. Weinberg, but I do believe that it's a mistake repurposing his room or just distributing his things due to his current situation. But you do say that, you know, STEM isn't just in one room, and I totally agree with that. But I think it's very important in learning as a student. I know I learn better with a lot better connections with a teacher, feeling comfortable, and a lot of
The teacher is still here.
but his
And
room
still teaching.
was something that meant a lot to kids, especially the location. It wasn't just in the middle of the hallway where everybody was. It was over here. It was more quiet. It was more, relaxing for a lot of these kids. And I know, like, when I'm in the middle, like, leaving my classroom, it's not like 50 kids blocking me, getting scared of getting hit by the door and stuff. It's a lot more, it's a different feeling when you're with the teacher and it's quiet. You really have that sense of relax. You can concentrate more, stuff like that. It really helps with your learning experience. But I'd also like to bring up some of the stuff with the technology classes we have here. I know I've taken a lot of the classes at this school that you guys offer. I'm taking graphic design now. I took Photoshop, Introduction to Fabrication Design, video editing, movie production. I took all those classes. And
You're like a walking poster child for our STEM program. Thank you. Could you repeat those classes? I was just kidding. Go ahead.
I loved those classes, I really do, and I think the money we're using for what we're doing with Mr. Weinberg's room, whatever you guys are using it for, but whatever you guys are using it for, I think that money should be moved towards what the technology we're actually using in these classes.
It can't be, because it's for capital projects. It's money that has been put in reserve for capital projects, and it has to be used for capital projects. The money doesn't transfer, it's a different pot. I can't buy technology with it, I can't.
I still do think, there's a lot of things here like the Chrome carts, I think a better system for that is needed, because I know a lot of the times I walk into a classroom and the teacher has, their Chrome cart, a lot of them, teachers are walking in like, excuse me, is this Chrome cart this, do you know where it is?
You're right, that could be better.
I think implementing a system would be really important, especially because it's now class interruptions.
You're right, and I just want you to know, so we're exploring more technology leases, so that way, you pay for the technology over time, and we're exploring some other alternatives that I can't really share right now, but the administrative team and technology team is going to be visiting some other districts and seeing what they're doing and see if those things can't possibly make their way here. So we are definitely looking at technology. We were talking about it in committee.
And I think some we could do with the Chrome carts, a lot of them are misused, a lot of them are beat up, stuff like that. I know this week I have some kids who were in that class when it happened. Somebody comes in and like half of them weren't working, and then somebody had to come in and like fix the Chrome cart while it was there. I don't know if he's still here. I did see him come in to fix the microphone or whatever.
And some of our Chromebooks are definitely aging out, and we're aware of that, and we're working on how, in what fashion and in what quantity we're going to replace them and how that's going to work. And it's definitely something that we'll be reaching out to, like maybe a small group of students to get their input on before we launch any changes.
I also would like to bring up...
I'm going to call you.
Please do.
Okay.
I'd like to bring up a lot of the situation with those classes I was talking about. A lot of the equipment we use for there, I don't think is sufficient enough for the stuff we do use it for. I know for the classes I take, I think I do a pretty good job at what I do in those classes. I have a pretty good understanding how to work these applications we're using. I use some of them at home personally. A lot of the times what happens is I always tend to have a problem with internet problems, or something like the computer doesn't can't run it. It takes a while to load, and I end up having to be backtracked a lot of the time for projects that should be taking me 3 days and ends up taking me 3 weeks because of a lot of the stuff that we have.
Can you tell me your name again?
Matthew D'Ambrosio.
Matthew?
So D''A, MBRO, GIO.
GIO. Do you know Mr. Michael Marr, our technology director? Mike, wave your hand.
I believe I said hi to him once.
The three of us, Matt, what grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
Great. So the three of us are going to sit down. We're going to have a meeting, okay? So that you can give me all these details, and you can talk technology in front of somebody who's going to understand exactly what you're saying. Okay, I promise you. All right,
sounds
Matt?
good for me.
Do you have option 2 or anything? Do you leave the building at all?
No.
Just for lunch?
Yeah, just for lunch.
Okay. Can I promise you that I'll reach out to you and we'll sit down and we'll talk?
That sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay.
We were closed.
We're now going to recess to close executive session to conduct a disciplinary hearing per NJSA 1046.
We may take that.
Open Public Meeting Act. The subject matter discussed may be disclosed to the public if and when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Action may be taken when the board reconvenes in open session. Can I have a motion to go into closed?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you all very much for coming, and thank you for your comments.